Alright. That's funny. I can get this phone for my son. It's funny.
Hi.
How you doing?
Here you go.
You want me to turn it on and make sure it works?
Yeah, sure. I have it on already in
I
there.
told him it's probably him.
He needs a charger with it. It doesn't come with one.
That's right. I probably have a million of them at home.
They don't come with one anymore.
I'm sorry if he was bugging you.
Oh, it's fine.
He,
it's okay.
He doesn't have any patience.
It's fine. It's okay.
He's like any other 15-year-old.
Yeah. You want to try it out?
Yeah. Is it $50?
Yeah.
Okay. I know what you mean. It's like, it's not like, you know what I mean. If there is a problem, I think I trust you that you're not gonna try to sell me a broke phone or something.
No, tell him to let
really
me know
nice
if he has any problems with it. I mean, they're brand new, so.
And
it has to stay on Verizon. It can't go on nothing else.
Okay. That's
so it can't go to Straight Talk. It can't go.
Okay, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that it was Verizon locked.
Yeah, yeah, it has to stay with Verizon.
That's fine. So it's I understand how that works. I always buy my new phone, and then I just like that.
Yeah.
So he can't do any of that, or
yeah.
Because Net 10 doesn't have Verizon too.
I'm not sure. I just know it has to stay with Verizon.
Either way, I'll be able. That's fine.
Okay.
It's not going to be
any
an
problems,
issue.
Please let me know.
Right on. Yeah,
All right.
I think we'll be fine.
There you go.
I don't think
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have another one too that you were?
I do. There's two of them.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
so
I do.
I'll let you know if I
Okay.
can get the other one or whatever. But...
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. Okay. Oh. Okay, now we're gonna delve into this here. This is fucking. What are the odds, right? Now, I've heard and I've have found evidence to support this that the people involved in gang stalking, right, are people that are in like private security companies, right? So I want you to look at that right there. See that? See what that says? It says gettingsecurity.com, right? It's a fucking literally private security company. And the whenever I pulled in, the guy that came out of the house, like this guy here up on the porch, he just came out as I'm going to leave. I mean, you can't make this shit up. So isn't it convenient that my son's looking for a phone, right? And he gets on Messenger, and there's the guy coming out. Nope, he's going back in now. He came out, now he's going back in. I love the fact that, see, I'm in my daughter's car, and it's got tinted windows, and they're really tinted. You can't even see inside. So I can record, and they can't even tell I'm recording. And it's nice because, I mean, that's something that they use, a tactic they like to use all the time, right? And I just had a guy who I suspect is a perp who just mentioned this the other day. I was downtown with my daughter, and I actually recorded it, so I'll be able to show you. But I was downtown with my daughter, and this supposed perp comes up, and he says, "Is that you that's driving around in that yellow car with those really dark tinted windows?" He says. You know, it was one of those. It was a giveaway. It was a dead giveaway. Why he was asking that question? He's known, this particular perp, he's known for a long time, a very long time, what my daughter drives. And he's even mentioned it. There goes an ambulance just drove past me, you know, right as I go to pull out. But, I mean, it's all day. It's all day with this shit, right? But, yeah, he's known for a long time what my daughter's drove for her vehicle. He's done things, like he went out of his way and came to my house and gave her a birthday card with some money in it. Like, out of nowhere, like, and I believe it's because I've suspected him of being a perp, and I've said about it out loud. So, you know, what are they gonna do? They're gonna do things to try to throw you off, right? To make you believe that that's not the case, right? So that's what, that's, they went out of their way to, and I'm sure that he felt she deserved it anyway, or he wouldn't have given her a card with money in it, because it's not like him. It was very, I was blown away, put it that way, to see this particular perp. I'm not going to mention names, but to see that particular perp go out of his way and come to my house to go out of his way and give her a card with money in it, because of the type of person that she is. She's a good person. That should also reflect what kind of person, I am. I raised her. I raised her to be a good person. To have empathy and compassion for people, not to be a fucking piece of shit weirdo like this guy behind me, right? I mean, you can't make this shit up, right? You see what that is, right? Look at that. Come on. And you're gonna tell me gang stalking isn't happening? Come on. Really? Come on. You got this Jeep up here pulling out. I mean, it's all day, every day with these fucking weirdos. All day, every day. When you're strange, people come out in the rain. When you're strange, I've seen an elderly woman just to be able to gang stalk me. I've seen her come out in the rain into a yard that's completely clean. There's not a leaf in the yard. I've seen an elderly lady standing in the rain raking a clean lawn. Raking nothing. Raking nothing at all. Explain that. I had my neighbor Lynn Murphy, when I looked at the apartments, she came out into the hallway to mop the carpeting. Okay? I repeat, to mop the carpeting. And they want to say that we're crazy, that we have a mental illness? Come on. I mean, who does that shit? Have you ever mopped your carpeting? Have you ever raked your clean yard in the rain? I'm just asking questions. I mean, if that's normal, then call me crazy, right? I don't understand why you would rake a yard in the rain when there's no leaves in the yard. Just saying. I also don't understand why you would mop a carpet. Why? I don't know. Is there something that I don't understand, that I'm missing? Do people mop carpets? Is that a normal thing that I just was never taught? That you should mop your carpeting? Help me out here. Come on. I'm open to suggestions. I'd love to hear, what your cognitive dissonance comes up with for this one. Why would my neighbor come out in the hallway to mop the carpet? Why would my neighbor come out in her clean yard in the rain and rake her clean yard? Right? So, I don't know. We'll see if it's something I just don't understand, or if maybe it's my mental illness or my schizophrenia. Maybe it's my schizophrenia, right? Maybe it's my schizophrenia that thinks that every time I get to an intersection on a back road, like Baker's Crossroads, that I can't get through the intersection without there being a vehicle there. Maybe it's just, maybe I'm just crazy, right? Oh, look at that. Oh, look. I mean, all day, every day. Can't make this shit up. Right? Let's go this way. Fuck it, we'll go this way. This is not the way we came. We'll go a different way back. I like to throw them off any chance I can. I like to perp the perps. Then we have this vehicle behind us here. The intersection just came down. It's a Jeep. They got their window down, completely down. They're turning this way. What do you know? Gotta have somebody follow you, right? They'll stay back though, because they gotta follow from in front. And if they won't give me the opportunity to record somebody following me on my ass. Like, it's funny. They just they must have floored it to even get that close. But now they slowed down. So that's, what I do? We talked about this last night on Helms Live. You know, whenever you're walking, walk slower, right? When you're driving, drive slower. That's all you gotta do. And then this shit just comes out. This shit shows itself. It reveals itself everywhere you go if you just slow down, right? Because if I slow down, they have to slow down if they're in front of me, if they're following me. They have to slow down if they're behind me, because they're following me, right? And I have done this, and that's why I laugh whenever I said about it, because I've done this, and it's a very effective tactic to point out, to be able to show to expose the perps, so to speak, you know, to reveal the perps. Just slow down, you know, walk slower, drive slower, and then you'll see the strange activity, right? Like that guy down there. Just putting along, just putting along, singing his song. Perpy McPerps a lot. Fucking people, man. Can't make this shit up. And then I do shit like this here. When you get these people that want to follow you around, you know, if you have a suspicion that somebody's following you, well then pull off the side of the road. Let them get in front of you, right? Pull off. That way you can eliminate that. If they're following you, then they can't follow you anymore if you pull off, right? Or they'll show you, they'll give you evidence to prove that they're following you if they turn around and do weird shit, right? And I noticed something else, and I wanted to point this out. I don't know if I ever mentioned this or not, but I noticed a lot of perps, the license plates, it really looks like they were license plates that were pulled out of a junkyard. They were like crushed on a car that was crushed, and then they flattened them back out. A lot of license plates that I noticed looked like that. I mean, they look like that the only place they could have got them is a junkyard. You know, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, because they would have to conceal their identity somehow, so they would put fake plates on their car, right? And is that why I see these out-of-state plates? Because maybe they can run out-of-state plates that are fake, and maybe the cops have no way of running them. I don't know, but I see a lot of out-of-state plates, and I've noticed on certain cars, like they put novelty plates on the front. You know, in Pennsylvania, you only have to have a plate on the back of your car. But I have noticed a lot of these people that I suspect as being perps, they'll have a plate on the front of their car that's different, you know, like California or something like that. Well, how hard would it be to take that off and throw it on the back real quick? Slap it right over top of your plate to do your perping, right? There you go. You got to do your perping, there you go. And then you could use plausible deniability if you get pulled over and say, my knucklehead kid, I told him to put the license plate on. I didn't know he put the wrong one on. You know, you could just explain it away. You have really nothing to worry about. But you definitely don't have to worry about, you know, your target identifying you if you have a novelty plate over top of your regular plate, or an out-of-state plate that, you know, you can't identify that person as a local person. You're going to think that they're from out of state, right? When in reality, it's just a bunch of people that all have the plan. They all know, you know, they got the game plan ahead of time. They're all on the same page. They all know what they're supposed to do, and they all work together. You know, they do things to get you to react, to get you to do something, where they already have the next stage of the plan ready for whenever you react and you do something as a reaction to what they're doing to you. Just expect that they're going to have something else set up for you, because that's the whole point. They do it on purpose to get you to do something. Then they have like a Goosebumps fucking choose your adventure book, right? They have different choices, and depending on which choice you make, depends on how the story goes. So they do something to you to get you to react. You could react with A, or you could react with B. Well, they have scenarios for A and B. No matter what you choose, they already have it planned, set up to, for what to do to you. Whether you choose A or B, it doesn't matter. When you are aware of these things and you understand these things, they become a lot less effective, right? Their tactics become garbage. They got to throw the playbook in the garbage and start over. And they do. They absolutely do. They regroup. They get together. I've seen this happen. Look, that one has a Batman sticker on the back. I have seen that vehicle perp me a number of times. That black vehicle with the Batman sticker on the back. I am Batman, right? Like, you can't make this shit up. If you've seen the video that I put up, I think I put it up. I don't know, maybe I didn't. There's a video that it explains the PowerPoint presentation of the tactics, right? It's literally a PowerPoint presentation, like a 2-week training thing on psychological operations, right? They train regular everyday people on how to deploy psychological operations. It's not hard. It's unbelievably simple. It's just most people don't think that way. Most people don't have that fucked way of thinking, the absolutely fucked mindset to fuck with somebody else's mind, right? The mind fuck them. I'm gonna mind fuck the shit out of you. Let me mind fuck your ass for a minute. Get over here. Get over here. Come here. I'm gonna take your mind, I'm gonna caress it, and then I'm gonna fuck the shit out of it, right? These are mind fucking perps. They're mind rapists. They're I don't know what the word is. I'm sure there's got to be a word we can come up with to describe the fucking violating of one's psychological makeup, of their beliefs. And there's a car behind me. As soon as I pull out, I just sat there and waited and thought, okay, there's no traffic here, right? No traffic coming back and forth for a while. Okay, so now I should be able to pull out and be good. Nope, I pull out and boom, there's a car coming at me and a car behind me. All fucking day, all day long. This is actually a little bit elevated from normal. Like, yeah, they're I would consider this a little bit elevated at the perping, because perping ain't easy. You know that, right? Perping ain't easy. But I think it's just because of the recent videos I've been putting out. I feel like I've hopefully making a difference. Hopefully, actually opening up people's eyes. Some people's eyes to this bullshit. I was in Conspiracy Underground's chat earlier, and I will give him credit. He did finally admit that he looked into it, and what he was using to say that I got in trouble for drugs and meth, he realized that it was bullshit. Because that's what they do. They go online and they post fake stories and lies. That's all they do. And they get people to believe it because people are stupid. Don't be stupid, people. Right? Question everything. Question it. And I know it sucks and it's a bunch of bullshit, but you shouldn't have to fucking show receipts for everything. But in this day and age, if you want to know what the real truth is, right, and you don't want to be manipulated, then I suggest you hold people's feet to the fire. Make people show receipts before you just blindly believe what they're saying to be true. Ask the right questions. If somebody tries to tell you something about another person, you ask them, how do they know that? Where do they get their information from? Right? It's so important this day and age. And if you haven't, you back the blue till it happens to you. So if you haven't been a victim of this psychological warfare shit, then you don't know. it's hard to even imagine what could happen to a person with a little bit of false information. How easily you can fuck up somebody's life. You know, and what I still can't wrap my brain around is what motivates. Where's the motivation come from? And whenever you see all these other people experiencing the same exact things that you are, you have to come to some kind of conclusion and realize that there has to be a missing variable here. What is motivating these people to all do this to a bunch of people for no good reason? No good reason, right? It has to be money. Money's the root of all evil. Money would explain everything, wouldn't it? It would absolutely explain why people were motivated to do this shit. I just saw that's why I turned left, because I saw an Amazon delivery vehicle pulling into this alley. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't understand, why would Amazon drive in the alley behind these people's houses? I don't think they have to deliver packages to their back doors like that, you know? Here's the front door, right? Or here's the front, this is the main street here. There's an alley behind these houses on the right. And I just saw that Amazon vehicle. They came this way, I'll show you. They came this way. I saw them pulling out this way, and then they made the left. Okay? Maybe they were just going around the block, I don't know. But it just seemed a little bit odd to me that, you know, the Amazon delivery vehicle decided to come this way. You know? These people don't like it. When people were walking in the alley behind their house, they're nosy as fuck, and they have guilty conscience complexes, you know? So when people like that have guilty consciences already, they expect that everybody's up to no good, you know? There it is. If somebody's walking behind in the alley behind their house, well, they must be up to no good, right? Why else would they walk in the alley behind my house? Oh, they must be gonna steal something, right? But here's your Amazon Prime vehicle that I just saw in that alleyway. And they come around the corner and they put the four-ways on. Yeah, you know. Is it possible that this Amazon delivery person is also engaging in, maybe he has a second job that he can do his second job while he does his first job, right? If he has some objectives. Yeah, you can't make this shit up. Look, the fucking thing has one headlight, all right? The damn Amazon fucking vehicle has one headlight. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. There. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Look, the fucking Amazon vehicle has one headlight. He has his four-ways on, but he's got one fucking headlight. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Right? I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. Oh, and Conspiracy Underground said earlier, too, my brother was in his chat, and my brother was just spouting out lie after lie after lie. And the point that he made is, why would your brother come on and be that dumb and risk exposing the program, you know? And I just think that they don't care about the perps. They don't care about the perps. The perps are the ones that are going to get thrown under the bus. They're the ones that are going to catch the heat for it. So they would want to blame, they need to blame somebody, don't they? So they would get him to do shit that would basically self-destruct, right? So he said, well, why don't you show everybody where your brother lives, so that then they can fucking, you know, there's a bunch of people who don't like gang stalkers. Well, this is where my brother lives, right here. There's my brother's house, okay? There you go, Conspiracy Underground. There's my brother's house and his Jeep. And it's important to note that he lives right in town. I mean, this is the middle of town right here. It's the middle of town, okay? So, so that's how stupid he is. That's how fucking stupid he is, that he's gonna go and drive around my place and gang stalk me and try to use that excuse, you know? Well, he wasn't even able to use that excuse, but the excuse that it's just a street. Anybody can walk on a street. It's normal. You're crazy, right? But then he's gonna try to say the same thing if I fucking go drive past his house. He lives in the middle of town. You know what I mean? Like, again, make it make sense. So, the gang stalking shit, the targeting is one thing, okay? It's a lot simpler than they try to make it out. I think a lot of it is just fucking gaslighting, disinformation to make the whole thing sound crazy when it's really simple. It's just the powers that be, you know, law enforcement and small businesses, community watch groups and shit like that. They all get together and they identify people that aren't like them, people that they feel like, you know, or if they got the choice, you know, if somebody came to them and said, okay, you can eliminate, you know, the bottom 1% of people in your town, you get to pick whoever you want to get rid of. Who would you get rid of, you know? And that's, I mean, that's why a lot of people say, oh, you know, targeted individuals are pieces of shit and they're this and they're liars and they're everything else. Okay, I get it. People make mistakes. But there are coincidences. That's why you can't do this shit, because who's to stop these people from just fucking being corrupt, right? I exposed 2 different clubs. Well, I tried to. I caught, hey, look, it's a fireman, look at that. I caught Pauline Albright ripping me off at the Slovak Club. And then what do you know? Shortly thereafter, I got a letter banning me from the club for life. No explanation whatsoever. They just said it's just for the better of the club. That's all they said. That's it. Sorry, but I can't help but assume that it's because I fucking exposed and caught Pauline Albright stealing my money. Trying to rip me off, blatantly rip me off from the Slovak. So they banned me for life. After the fact, then I got a criminal trespass and did some shit there to give them a reason. But they banned me first. Then I gave them a reason, okay? That's important. Because my brother tries to claim that I got banned for life for breaking the law and doing some fucked up shit at that. And that's just not the case. Didn't happen. And that's why he won't be able to provide any evidence to support his claims. It doesn't exist because he's lying. And then the Legion, he says that I got kicked out of the Legion for dealing drugs in the Legion. That's a bold-faced lie. The person that they claim that I was supposedly dealing drugs with is dead now. She lived in my building, and I believe they killed her. She just mysteriously died of like an aneurysm. I don't know. It's very strange, the details surrounding her death. But anyway, I proved beyond a reasonable doubt. Like, I proved that it was a complete lie. Shannon Shiro fired her own fucking mother over this. Her mother worked there. Sandy was at the door. And she has knowledge that what they said about me at the Legion was a bold-faced lie. They made it up. They completely made it up because I caught Shannon Shiro trying to rip me off for $250. Just to, you know, by the grace of God and sheer coincidence and asking the right questions, I discovered, by accident, I stumbled upon a situation where the only explanation is that Shannon was trying to rip me off and that there were multiple people involved in it. Multiple people. That's disturbing. And when you have something like that and you're able to uncover it, you know, they want to shut you the fuck up, right? So that is why she made up a story, completely made up a story, and gave me a letter saying that I was banned for life from the Legion. And it said it was on behalf of the trustees, but here's the thing. They didn't know anything about a letter. They knew nothing about it, the whole thing. They were just hoping that I would just leave and go away. And that'd be the end of it. But I didn't. I started asking the right questions. And I made a big problem for them. A big, big problem for them. So they had to shut me up and discredit me and everything else. So that's why I think it might have a lot to do with the targeting too. At least it gives more people motivation. It gives them a motive to do this to me, you know? Self-preservation. Because guess what? Shannon Shiro, I don't know if she's still there, but her dad, Carl Kovach, he's still there. And he was involved. He lied through his teeth, called me a liar, and wouldn't let me tell my story. Wouldn't let me defend my side. He wouldn't let me tell it. Because he knew that if it got out, people would believe it because it's the fucking truth. Him, Don Yackley, Carl Kovach, and Shannon Shiro, like together, they all fucking organized and orchestrated the situation. When I went to the meeting, after they changed it every month, they changed the date of the meeting last minute. And so I went and finally discovered, I figured this out and went to every one. And 3 or 4 months later, they fucking just bulldozed me. But it's important that you understand these things and be good or be good at it.